Hello everyone, welcome to my next video on communication. In this video, we'll be discussing about the importance of communication and types of communication. As you all know beta, communication plays a key role in the success of a manager. How much professional knowledge and intelligence a manager may possess, it becomes immaterial if he is not able to communicate effectively with his subordinates and create understanding in them. Directing abilities of a manager mainly depend on his communication skills. It has been observed, it has been estimated that a manager spends almost 90% of his time in communicating, sometimes reading, writing, listening, guiding, instructing, approving, etc. He is performing so much of activities while doing communication. He's taking the help of communication in doing all these activities. So communication is a foundation of all group activities. It acts as the lubricant fostering for the smooth operations of management process. Now let us discuss the various benefits offered by communication. What role does communication plays? The very first point is it acts as a basis of coordination. Communication creates coordination among different departments, persons, and various activities. Fine? It acts as a basis of various activities. Coordination is created among departmental activities and persons in the organization. Fine? Such coordination is provided by explaining about various organizational goals. To explain the organizational goals, we have to take the help of communication. Fine? We have to explain the mode of achievement of those goals and interrelationship between different individuals as well as different departments. So, without communication, it is very difficult to achieve the goals of organization. Unless all the individuals and all the departments they work together, goals of organization cannot be achieved. Next point is it helps in the smooth working. Communication makes possible the smooth functioning of an organization. How? Whenever there is a communication gap, all organized activities will be stopped. Communication makes possible for the smooth and unrestricted working of the enterprise. All organizational interactions they depend on communication. The job of a manager is to coordinate the human and physical elements of an organization into efficient and active working units which can achieve the common objectives of the organization. It is only communication which makes smooth working of an enterprise possible. So communication is basic to an organization's existence right from its birth through its continuing life. When communication stops, organized activities they will come to an end. Next point of importance is it acts as a basis for decision making. It provides us the required data for making decisions in the organization. In its absence, it may not be possible for the manager to take any meaningful decision. Only on the basis of communication of relevant information, he can take right decisions at right time. Next benefit is it increases managerial efficiency. Communication is very much essential for quick and effective performance of managerial functions. Management conveys the goals, the targets, issue instructions, allocates jobs and responsibilities, and looks after the performance of subordinates. Okay? Looks after the performance of subordinates. So communication is involved in all these aspects. Communication acts as a lubricant for the entire organization and it keeps the organization at work with efficiency. Next merit is it establishes effective leadership. Communication helps to establish effective leadership. It is the basis of effective leadership. Effective communication helps to influence subordinates. While influencing people, leader should possess good communication skill. Only then he can influence, he can impress upon his followers. Next point of importance is it boosts up morale and motivation. An efficient system of communication, it enables management to motivate, to influence and satisfy the subordinates. Good communication assists the workers in their adjustment with the physical and social aspects of work. It improves good human relations in industry. Communication is the basis of participative, or you can say democratic style of management. Communication helps to boost up the morale of employees as well as managers. These are the different points of importance of communication that we discussed. That is, it acts as a basis of coordination. Fine. It coordinates the activities of all the departments and individual. It also helps in the smooth working of the organization. Fine. Then we did, it acts as a basis for decision making. Without the available of right information at the right time, manager will not be able to take correct decisions. It increases the efficiency of managers so that he can perform all the managerial functions in an effective manner. It also provides effective leadership. Okay? Through communication, leader can influence his subordinates. It also helps to boost up the morale and motivation of its employees as well as managers. These are the various points of importance of communication. Now let us discuss the types of communication. Organizational communication, it can be categorized into different categories. First is according to organizational structure. Communication can be formal and it can be informal as well. As per expression, if we categorize communication on the basis of expression, it can be oral, it can be written as well. According to direction, it can be downward communication, it can be upward communication, it can be horizontal communication. We can cover all this downward, upward, horizontal under formal communication as well. Now let us discuss all these types of communication one by one. First is oral communication. It is information which is sent, which is passed on through spoken words, through face-to-face interaction, telephones, etc. by words spoken, by words of mouth. That is oral communication. Okay. Next is written communication, information which is done through written words, letters, memos, reports, magazines, books, etc. Most of the formal communication is written. It is in the written form. Now comes formal communication. Communication that takes place through the official channels of organization beta. That is called formal communication. Communication taking place in the organization through official chain of command, through scalar chain. It is usually between a superior and subordinate. Further, it flows through scalar chain. Formal communication is further categorized as downward communication, upward communication, horizontal communication, and diagonal communication. We'll discuss all these. It can be on the basis of direction. We also categorize them as downward, upward, horizontal, and diagonal. It also comes under formal communication. It is generally written in the form of memos, notes, letters, reports, etc. Now let's study vertical communication. Communication flows vertically, upward or downward through formal channel. Vertical means a straight line beta. It moves either upward or downward. If the communication moves from superior to subordinates, that is downward communication. It flows from superior to subordinate. For example, superior is sending notice to employees to attend a meeting. Superior is ordering subordinates to complete an assigned task. Superior is passing on guidelines framed by the top management to the subordinates, giving orders or instructions. All these are examples of downward communication. It passes from superior to subordinate. Now the next category under vertical communication is upward communication. This type of communication takes place from subordinates to superiors. For example, application for grant of leave, suggestions, complaints, appeal, inquiries, reactions, submission of progress report of subordinates. All this type of communication flows from subordinates to superiors. So upward and downward communication both are covered under vertical communication because they both move in straight line, either from superior to subordinate or from subordinate to superior. In vertical communication, two levels are involved. One is superior, another is subordinate. They both are of the same department. Superior and subordinate, they both are of the same department, but they are working at the different levels. Superior and subordinate, they are both of the same department, but they are working at the different level. For example, marketing manager communicating with his sales executives. Fine. That is, they are working at the different levels, but they belong to the same department. Next is horizontal communication. It flows from a person to another in the same level, same status. It takes place among departmental heads. Communication which takes place among people who are working at the same level, but they are of different departments. They belong to different departments, but their level, their status is same beta. Okay, a production manager may contact sales manager about product design, about the quality or delivery of goods, about the quantity of goods. Similarly, marketing manager and production manager may discuss the flow of sales and the flow of output so that activities of the two departments they can be coordinated. Such type of communication helps to resolve interrelated problems among the departments. Fine. In vertical communication we did, there's communication between two persons at the different levels, but here communication is between the two persons at the same level. Here departments are different, but in vertical communication it was same. Now the next category is diagonal communication. Communication that takes place between people in different departments, one holding higher position than the other. Means departments are different. Fine. Like in horizontal communication, and further the position is different, one higher position and the other at the lower position. Their levels, they are working at the different levels, they are working in the different departments. Levels bhi alag hai and departments they also are different beta. For example, you can see this is the diagonal communication. A slant line is there. Manager, for example, marketing manager is giving some suggestions to the one employee, to the foreman of the production department. Fine. Marketing manager is giving instructions to the supervisor or foreman of the production department about the changes in the product design. On the basis of feedback received from the market, he is suggesting the foreman to make certain changes in the design of the product so that the demand of the product may get increased in the market. That is diagonal communication. Two persons belong to different levels and also they are from different departments. One is from marketing department, another is from production department. One is at the managerial level, middle level, another is at the operational level. Supervisor works at the operational level. That is diagonal communication. Now comes informal communication. Under formal communication, we discussed vertical communication. In vertical, we discussed upward and downward. Further, we discussed horizontal communication as well as diagonal communication. Now it is formal communication. Informal communication we'll do now. Communication that takes place in an organization outside the formal lines. It is not an official communication, it is outside the formal lines, not in scalar chain beta. It is based on informal relationship among employees of different departments, and again employees may be of different levels as well. It is free from all formalities of formal communication. It can be conveyed through gestures, postures, smile, facial expression, etc. Most of the informal communication is done orally. Mostly it is done orally. For examples, workers, they are chit-chatting in a canteen about the behavior of their superior. That is informal communication. They are discussing about rumors that some of the employees they are likely to be transferred. Again, it is an example of informal communication. Okay, informal communication, it basically arises out of the needs of employees to exchange their views, their feelings, their joys, their sorrows with each other, which is not possible through formal channels. Informal system of communication. Fine. informal communication is also known as grapevine communication. It is also known as grapevine communication. You know, grapevine, it is very complex beta. Grapevine spreads very rapidly and it is very complex. It is very difficult to determine from where it has started and where it is ending. It is very difficult to locate the origin and the end of a grapevine. So informal communication is compared to a grapevine. In informal communication also, it is very difficult to locate the origin of communication, from where communication has started and where it will end. It is totally unstructured form of communication. No pattern is followed, beta. It spreads throughout the organization with its branches going out in all directions with utter disregard to the levels of authority, just like a grapevine. Okay? The network or pathway of informal communication is called grapevine. Why it is called grapevine? Because it spreads throughout the organization, irrespective of the level of authority. It flows in all directions, not necessarily upward or downward or horizontal. It might flow in any direction. It is very difficult to identify the origin. Origin cannot be traced and it is structureless. It cannot be pre-decided, pre-framed structure is not there. Although informal communication or grapevine communication is there, but there are certain positive aspects of grapevine communication also. It may be useful to the managers at times because it carries information very rapidly. Right? Managers may use such type of communication to transmit information so as to know the feedback or reaction of their subordinates. Okay? Of course, we have to keep a check on informal or grapevine communication because rumors, it leads to spread of rumors very fast. Now let us discuss the difference between formal and informal communication. After going through the entire presentation, we should be able to conclude how they are different from each other. Formal communication, beta, it is done through an official chain, a scalar chain is followed. While in informal communication, it is totally unofficial, totally independent, it is totally structureless. There's no pattern, there's no official chain. Okay, next difference is formal communication is very slow, beta, but informal communication is very fast. It spreads very fast. Formal communication, most of the formal communication is written. In case it is oral, some record is definitely kept. In case a meeting is held by the manager with his subordinates, some minutes of the meeting can be kept as a record, mostly written. While informal communication is mostly oral, verbal. In formal communication, what type of matters are discussed? Work related, official matters are discussed. While informal communication is basically based on social relationship. So personal feelings, joys, sorrows, all these things are discussed. In formal communication, it is very easy to fix responsibility because we know the source of communication, we know the origin of communication, from where it has originated. While informal communication, it is very difficult to fix the responsibility because we don't know the origin of communication. The end as well as the beginning of communication is not traceable. Formal communication is orderly, systematic, pre-planned, while informal communication is not in an order. Formal communication is impersonal in nature. Personal needs of the individual or employees, they are not taken into consideration, while informal communication is totally personal in nature. Formal communication is done to fulfill the organizational requirements, while informal communication is basically for the social requirement, but it can be also used tactically to satisfy, to serve the organizational needs as well. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Thank you, beta. Thank you for patient listening.